Michael pulls off his fake nose and slips into yet another disguise, this time as a casino employee. Calm and calculated, he installs a jammer inside the card shuffling machine. Then he hides a pair of special dice beneath one of the gaming tables and connects them to the jammer. Next, he quietly drops sleeping pills into a wealthy man's drink. Once the man passes out, Michael steals his VIP card and disappears. Minutes later, he returns to the casino with a completely different look. He heads straight to the dice table and bets all his coins. Just before rolling, he swiftly swaps the regular dice with the special ones he planted earlier. As the dice roll across the table, Michael activates the jammer. Both dice land on 8, exactly the number he bet on. He celebrates the win, but that small payout is not his real objective. Michael then activates the first jammer inside the shuffling machine. Suddenly, the machine malfunctions and spits out cards uncontrollably. Chaos erupts across the casino floor as cards scatter everywhere. Security has no choice but to replace the entire deck with new ones, which is precisely what Michael was waiting for. Using the stolen VIP card, he enters a private elevator. Inside, he times everything carefully, waiting for the staff carrying the new decks. Just before they enter, he closes the doors, opens the control panel, and installs another jammer inside the elevator. When the staff step in, Michael triggers the device. The elevator stalls and the lights go out. In the darkness, he quickly swaps the new decks with his own prepared cards. After that, he exits the elevator and uses the VIP card to access the exclusive high roller room. The decks now in play are the ones he secretly switched. Michael puts on a pair of X-ray glasses, allowing him to see through the cards. With this advantage, winning becomes easy. Still, he makes sure not to attract suspicion. He loses occasionally on purpose, keeping his victories believable. Game after game, he builds a massive fortune. Then out of nowhere, a man named Alex joins the table. With Alex present, Michael sees an opportunity to win even more. Feeling confident in his hand, he pushes all in with 1.2 million euros. Alex, despite having fewer chips, also goes all in. Their bold move draws in another wealthy player at the table. When the cards are finally revealed, Michael is stunned. Alex wins. Confused, Michael checks his cards again, only to realize they have been manipulated. Somehow, Alex outplayed him. That is when everything changes. This is beyond the edge. Realizing he has been tricked, Michael chases after Alex, demanding his money back. But Alex keeps slipping through his fingers. Instead, Michael ends up being dragged to meet the casino owner, Victor. Victor already knows Michael was cheating. He demands every cent be returned. Michael, however, insists that Alex is Victor's own man and that Victor orchestrated everything to take the money back. Victor immediately turns his anger toward Alex and demands that the full 5 million euros be returned.
You're running here, but...
He makes it clear that this is a lesson meant to scare off people like Michael so they never try to cheat his casino again. Before leaving, Victor gives Michael a final warning. He has 7 days to return every cent. With time running out, Michael looks for a way to fix the mess he is in. He travels to a remote casino far from the city, owned by his childhood friend Leo. While there, Michael notices a compass-shaped talisman that looks exactly like the tattoo Alex has. Curious, he asks Leo about the symbol. After explaining how Alex somehow manipulated his cards, Leo tells him that Alex is not an ordinary man. According to fortune tellers and mystics, some people are born with rare abilities. These individuals can manipulate the human mind, making others feel as if they are inside a different space entirely. To prove it, Leo gives Michael a book and tells him to read. Inside, Michael finds records of people with extraordinary powers. At the same time, we learn that Alex is not working for Victor at all. He answers to a different man, someone even more powerful named Gordon. After receiving the 5 million euros from Victor, Alex reveals a strange talisman shaped like a compass, almost like a UFO. This object allows ordinary people to enter and exit someone else's mind. Back with Michael, Leo performs a ritual to protect him from Alex's mental influence. After studying the book carefully, Michael discovers a list of individuals with special abilities. The first is Eric, a wealthy young man who can move objects with his mind. Michael quickly realizes how useful that ability could be in a casino. He approaches Eric and invites him to join his plan. The second is Tony, a taxi driver who can control electronic devices. Michael tracks him down as well. Tony refuses at first, but Michael knows exactly how to persuade him. The third person on the list is Tamara, an elderly woman who can control people's thoughts. However, seeing her fragile condition, Michael decides recruiting her would be too risky. Instead, he seeks out Kevin, an autistic young man with exceptional hypnotic skills.
More.
Kevin is currently in a hospital, abandoned by his parents. Michael carefully gains his trust and slowly convinces him to come along. Once Kevin agrees, Michael, Tony, and Eric waste no time. They help him escape the hospital, setting the stage for something much bigger than a simple casino scam. With 5 days left on the clock, Michael brings Tony, Eric, and Kevin to meet Leo. Now that the team is assembled, he lays out the plan and makes one thing clear. If this is going to work, they have to function as a unit. To test their abilities, Michael sets up a dice simulation. He asks Eric to mentally control the roll so the dice land on the exact number he bets on. Surprisingly, Eric pulls it off on the very first try.
All right.
It is impressive, but raw talent is not enough. They need coordination. To push them further, Michael tells them to run a real test inside Leo's casino, this time taking it seriously. When Leo's friend Villain refuses to gamble, Michael instructs Kevin to hypnotize him. With just a single look, Kevin succeeds. Villain suddenly agrees to play. To keep things unnoticed, Michael signals Tony to redirect the security cameras. Everything seems under control at first. The game begins, but the dealer mentions that any suspicious behavior usually leads to security being called. Kevin attempts to hypnotize the dealer as well. Confident that things are stable, Michael steps away to monitor the situation through surveillance. But soon everything spirals. Somehow, both Villain and the dealer lose control despite being hypnotized. The simulation collapses. It becomes painfully clear that Eric, Tony, and Kevin still cannot synchronize their abilities properly. After cleaning up the mess, Michael realizes they are missing something. They need someone strong enough to control the entire team. That means Tamara. He goes to her home, only to discover she has just passed away. Amid the funeral gathering, Michael notices a young woman named Veronica, whom others are asking for help. He suspects she is Tamara's granddaughter. When he sees several men chasing her, he picks up her fallen headphones and follows. Once things calm down, Michael approaches Veronica and returns her headphones. He tries to convince her to join his group, but before he can say much, Veronica reveals she has the same power as Tamara. She can read minds and she reads his instantly. Moments later, the same men reappear, determined to capture her. After a tense escape, Michael manages to get Veronica out safely and protect her from the pursuers.
Come on.
At the same time, Gordon is casually walking around a finished exhibition. While speaking with a guard, his men quietly move into action. One of them hypnotizes a painter. As soon as the artwork is completed, a hypnotized guard swaps the original painting with a fake. In less than 5 minutes, Gordon walks away with a masterpiece worth millions. Later on, Michael gathers his team in a park and introduces Veronica to them. With so many people around, he asks everyone to enter Veronica's subconscious so they can connect mentally without drawing attention. Once linked, Michael begins another test. Through Veronica, he instructs Eric to ring a bell in front of them. Eric succeeds. Then Michael asks Veronica to guide Kevin into hypnotizing 2 random pedestrians, making them shout for help. As the situation turns chaotic, Michael tells Veronica to signal Tony to trigger an electrical short circuit. Moments later, he asks Veronica to make everyone feel as if an earthquake is happening. Surprisingly, the simulation works. For the first time, the entire team moves in sync. They are finally functioning as one unit.
Earthquake. 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 Earthquake.
With that success, Michael decides it is time to take a much bigger risk. He plans to hit a major casino and walk away with a massive score in a single night. To avoid suspicion, they enter separately. Each of them plays a role. Tony poses as a transportation manager and security consultant. Kevin acts like an awkward beginner trying poker for the first time. Eric behaves like a reckless rich heir who enjoys spending his father's money. And Veronica presents herself as Michael's fiancée, confident and convincing. That same night, they put the plan into motion. Once mentally connected through Veronica's subconscious, Michael joins Eric at the roulette table. Through silent instructions passed within Veronica's mind, Eric and Tony coordinate effortlessly, helping Michael win spin after spin.
Eric, stay here. Don't win yet.
Soon he racks up 500 euros. Next, Michael and Veronica sit down with Kevin at the poker table. Again, their teamwork pays off. Michael keeps winning with ease, but success starts to get to Eric and Tony. Carried away by the thrill, they begin using their abilities for personal gain. Michael and Veronica warn them, but they ignore the advice. Eventually, security steps in and detains them. Thankfully, Kevin steps in and helps bring them to Michael instead of exposing the entire operation. Inside an elevator, Michael makes it clear that if they want to walk out safely, they must follow his instructions. He reminds them that the roulette and poker wins were never the real objective. It was all leading to one final move. Michael takes every chip he has earned and places it on a dice bet. With the entire team working together flawlessly, the impossible happens. Michael wins 10 million euros in a single roll. They leave the casino without raising suspicion. Later, by the beach, they celebrate their victory, relieved and triumphant. But while everyone is enjoying the moment, Veronica seems distant. Michael notices and approaches her. She finally reveals the truth. Even before her grandmother died, people had been chasing her, pressuring her to work with them. They did not care about her grief or her loss. All they wanted was her power. Refusing to cooperate, Veronica had been running ever since. Since Michael entered her life, everything has felt different for Veronica. He brings lightness into situations that once felt overwhelming. But while the team is growing closer, Gordon has been watching from the shadows. He secretly orders Alex to keep an eye on Michael, and soon he discovers that Michael is now working with people who have abilities just like theirs. The next day is the final deadline for Michael to repay Victor. However, before they can even arrive, Victor and his men intercept their car. Michael and his team are completely surrounded and taken hostage. Victor, now fully aware of Kevin, Eric, Tony, and Veronica's powers, decides he wants them working for him instead. Even when Michael insists that the money is in the trunk, Victor gives the order to shoot him on the spot. After that moment, Tony, Kevin, Eric, and Veronica are devastated. They believe Michael is dead, and there was nothing they could do to stop it. Overcome with guilt, Veronica takes a desperate step and manipulates her own mind. Sometime later, it is revealed that Michael is actually alive. He is brought before Gordon by Gordon's men. During their exchange, the truth finally comes out. Gordon is Michael's biological father. Michael is furious. He blames Gordon for everything, especially for losing his friends. To calm him down, Gordon asks to speak privately. As they walk together, Michael slowly begins to understand what his father is trying to say. Still, he makes one thing clear. He wants his team back. Gordon agrees to help. Before they part ways, he gives Michael his talisman and tells him to work with Alex. The following day, Eric, Kevin, and Tony are seen working under Victor's command, clearly unhappy and unmotivated. They talk about Veronica, who has not woken up from her coma. Suddenly, they are shocked to see Michael appear, disguised as a janitor. He cannot explain everything yet, but he tells them he is there to get them out. Following Michael's lead, Eric, Kevin, and Tony openly refuse to keep working for Victor. As expected, Victor orders his guards to take them to the basement, but Michael has already planned ahead. Disguised as one of Victor's guards, he manages to free his friends with ease. Learning that Veronica is being held in another room, he instructs Kevin to hypnotize one of Victor's men. Then he tells Kevin, Eric, and Tony to break into the vault while he goes to retrieve Veronica. After Michael leaves, Eric struggles with the vault's security system. Tony can disable some of the laser sensors, but not all of them. To complete the mission, Eric must carefully find a way through the remaining obstacles without triggering the alarm. At the same time, Michael manages to rescue Veronica and quickly rejoins the others. But just as Eric attempts to unlock the vault, an alarm suddenly blares. He entered the wrong code. Victor immediately deploys his men to capture them. Just when it seems like there is no escape, one of Victor's guards who had been hypnotized steps in and buys them precious time. That delay allows Michael and the team to finally open the vault and hide inside it.
I love you, baby!
With no other option left, Michael tells his friends that he needs to wake Veronica first. It sounds risky and almost impossible, but they agree to try. Kevin uses his hypnotic ability to send Michael into Veronica's subconscious. Against all odds, it works. Inside her mind, Michael searches through different rooms, but Veronica is nowhere to be found. Eventually, he arrives at a strange place filled with countless doors. Suddenly, a dark cloud mixed with shards of ice begins chasing him. Just as he is about to give up, the cloud stops right in front of him. Trying to stay focused, Michael reshapes the ground around him into the ruins of Veronica's old home. That memory guides him to her at last. But Veronica cannot see him. She believes he is dead and is consumed by grief. Even so, she can hear him. Michael urges her to return with him, to keep living. Veronica, still convinced he is gone, would rather stay in that darkness than face a world without him. To reach her, Michael reminds her of the moments they shared when they first met. Slowly, the memories break through. Finally, Veronica regains consciousness and wakes up in front of the others. But while she is saved, Michael is still trapped in her subconscious. He has pushed his mind beyond its limits. Even with his father's talisman, he struggles to find a way back. In the middle of his panic, Alex suddenly appears, silently guiding him. Alex forces Michael to witness the truth about his own staged death. It was all manipulated. The realization snaps Michael back to reality and he awakens. Wasting no time, he tells Kevin, Eric, Tony, and Veronica to grab all the money from the vault and prepare to escape. Even though Victor's men are guarding the area, Michael assures them they will make it out. With unexpected help from Alex, who manipulates Victor and his men mentally, the team walks out of the vault without resistance. Kevin and Tony are stunned by how easily everything falls into place. Later, at a quiet beach, Michael hands the money over to Alex as a sign of gratitude. Impressed by the team's abilities, Alex invites them to join Gordon's organization. 3 months later, Michael stands beside Gordon in the heart of the city, preparing for another operation. This time, it is clear. Michael and his team have chosen to work with Gordon, stepping into a much bigger game than ever before. So the moral of the story is, if you plan to cheat a casino with mind powers and fancy gadgets, make sure you are not the one getting cheated first.